Do you ever feel like you're just stuck? You know, like you're waiting for the real story of your life to start, the one that's way more exciting. Well, today we're going to flip that script. We're going to turn that feeling into a real actionable plan by looking at your life like it's a video game and figuring out how to level up. So let's be real. In our heads, we imagine our lives are these epic stories, right? Full of grand adventures and huge life-changing moments. But then there's the life we actually live, the day-to-day. And that's a lot less epic adventure and a whole lot more, the same old routine. Wake up, coffee, work, come home, crash on the couch. That gap between the life we imagine and the one we're living, man, it can feel absolutely huge. And when that gap gets big enough, it starts to feel like you're trapped in your own personal Groundhog Day. I mean, every day is just a repeat of the last. It's this monotonous loop where you're just kind of waiting for your real life to finally begin, but it just never seems to show up. But this brings up a really important question. Is there actually anything wrong with a normal life? Because a lot of the time, that pressure to have this incredible, non-stop, amazing existence, it's not even coming from us. It's coming from what we see all around us. And that source of pressure is, let's face it, everywhere. We are just bombarded with the highlight reels of everyone else's life. You scroll through social media and you see the perfect vacations, the amazing careers, the flawless families. And you can't help but start to think, oh, that's what a good life is supposed to look like. Suddenly, the expectation is that every day should be a highlight, and our totally fine, normal days start to feel like a failure. So, what if we just redefine the goal? What if a good life isn't about collecting a few epic, spectacular highlights? What if instead it's about stringing together a series of good days? And I don't mean perfect days. I mean days where your actions actually lined up with what you care about. Days where you just gave it a good shot. Okay, so if the goal is more good days, how do we actually do that? Well, it all starts with this one huge mindset shift. See, most of us have it all wrong. We sit around and wait for motivation to strike. We're waiting for that magical lightning bolt of inspiration before we do anything. And that, right there, is the biggest mistake you can make. We've got it completely backward. You don't think your way into a new way of living. You live your way into a new way of thinking. Motivation doesn't lead to action. Action creates motivation. Think about it. Every major change in your life probably happened because you started doing something different first, and then your mindset caught up. So, seriously, stop waiting for some aha moment to fall out of the sky. Don't wait for a book or a quote or, even this explainer to magically inspire you. Action, that's the engine. When you just do something, anything different, you break the pattern. And that's when you start to see things in a new way. That's where the real inspiration is hiding. All right, so if action is the key, how do we make it a habit? How do we make it happen consistently? We need a system. Think of it like a daily operating system for your life, something that makes taking action the default, not something you leave up to how you feel when you wake up. And honestly, one of the best ways to build this system is to go back to that video game idea. Let's treat our goals like a quest log. I mean, think about it. In a game, you always know exactly what you need to do, right? The objectives are clear, the steps are laid out. We need to bring that same kind of crystal clear focus into our real lives. So here's how the system works. It's 4 simple steps. Step 1, define your quest. I mean, really write it down. What's the goal and what's the roadmap to get there? Step 2, design the daily process. Break that huge quest down into the smallest possible daily action. Seriously, make it almost insultingly easy. Step 3, manage your energy. Your willpower is not infinite. You have to take real breaks to recharge. And no, scrolling on your phone doesn't count. And finally, step 4, eliminate distractions. You got to close all the digital backdoors. Make it so that doing the important work is actually the most interesting option you have. Let's just look at that daily process part. Say you want to write a book. A daily quest of writing just 100 words might sound, well, kind of pathetic, right? But hold on. If your usual daily word count is 0, then 100 isn't just a little better, it's infinitely better. The whole point is to just get started and build that consistency. You got to learn to love the process, not just the massive end goal. Now, of course, every good quest has a boss fight. And in the game of life, the final boss is always the same. It's that feeling of discomfort. You know, that wall of resistance you hit when you're about to do something hard but really important? Yeah, that's the thing that stops us in our tracks. That resistance, that's your comfort zone talking. And we have to stop thinking of it as this nice, cozy place. It's not. It's a cage. And here's the crazy part.
If you don't actively push on the walls of that cage, it starts to shrink. Things that used to feel normal suddenly feel impossible. When you avoid discomfort, you're literally making your own world smaller and smaller.
Look, at the end of the day, you have to choose your pain because discomfort is part of life. You can't escape it. You can choose the pain of action, which is upfront, it's temporary, but it leads to growth and strength. Or you can choose the pain of inaction, and that one's a slow burning poison. It's the pain of regret, of stagnation, of looking back and wondering, what if? But here is the reframe that can change everything. What if that wall of discomfort wasn't an obstacle? What if it was a power up? Think about it. Every single time you push through that feeling, you don't just get the task done, you absorb its strength. You literally level up your ability to handle discomfort. And that skill makes every future challenge just a little bit easier. So, if we do all this, if we take action and we face the discomfort boss, what's the point? What's the real reward? What's the loot we get at the end of this quest? You know, getting a new item or winning a match in a video game feels good. It's a quick hit of dopamine. It's fun, but it's also kind of hollow, right? The rewards you earn in real life are just different. They're deeper. They last. It's not just a little chemical rush in your brain. It's this profound existential feeling of satisfaction. And what does that really look like? Well, it's about becoming someone you're actually proud of. It's about building a life that truly reflects your values. It's gaining the kind of strength that lets you be there for other people. It's that feeling of being useful, of knowing that you're not just taking up space. That is the real endgame. And it all starts with one small choice, one tiny action. You don't need a huge emotional breakthrough. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to start. So I'll leave you with this one question. What is the one small, maybe even ridiculously simple quest that you are going to start today?